Yo, it's your boy AJ. I'm here with a rage. The Mavs just cooked the Celtics. Can the Mavs do the unthinkable? Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe.
Hoops World.
James.
Right here, the king is like, hey, guess what? I'm still the king.
I hit the streets just to get a bag. I pack, he got toe tagged. I punched the nigga for shorty. I'm John Woo with the 40. You not gang nor the homie. Don't blow me, no, you don't know me. Gang shit, members only. You wasn't there, I was lonely. You wasn't there, I was lonely. Dog nights blicky on me. I was just stacking my commas up. Head down, trying to run it up. These niggas be.
Yo, man, this game, this was a beat down. Like, we don't even have to break down quarterback. It's really just a beat down of all beat downs. I think we're just going to talk about the Mavs adjustments. The Celtics just got washed. Just like it was just a domination. Joe Mazzulla benched the Celtics. He started at, what was it, the third quarter? 122-84. Real quick notes I have about the first half. The Mavs outscored the C's over the final 5.5 minutes of the first quarter, 19-7. Dallas shot 58% from the field and 44% from three. Boston shot 38% and 22% from three in that first quarter. Doncic had 13. Kyrie had 9. Tatum got it going early, but it just, what did you see? I guess just going the whole game. We're going to talk about the first half, but what did you see early on from the Mavs that really impressed you, though, Rage?
So at least I'll start offensively. Offensively, they were really pushing the pace and they were really taking it to Boston. We've been able to see over the playoffs that like Boston's like just overall flaw is that they can't deal with teams that really like that match their energy. Teams like the Pacers were able to, like, without Tyrese Halliburton, they were able to push the pace and just kind of take it to them and just move fast, move the ball a lot, and go in the paint and create opportunities, and that's where the role players were able to step in. Luka Doncic was able to take over the game, but in this game, it was kind of different because he was really, really pushing the pace a little bit quicker. It wasn't just ISO ball; it was a lot of pushing the pace and moving the ball and just getting in the paint. Like the first 28 points, the first 28 points, like 22 of them were in the paint, and
Yeah.
overall, just they were dominating in the paint, and that's where the Celtics struggle, and they were really able to do that. And then in terms of defensively, my goodness, they were able to hold them to like nothing. They were moving so quickly. They were switching everything. They weren't over helping
Yeah.
with the switching. With the switching, they were able to fully just commit on anybody that they were guarding,
Yeah.
and all like the defenders that they really had on the floor were capable defenders of really just being able to switch. Like even Gafford, they took out Gafford pretty early. They had Lively like literally 2 minutes after the first quarter started. Like it was pretty early, and they were just switching everything, and they were able to really just kind of be in sync defensively, and it was just a good overall thing for them, and they were able to keep that up throughout the entire game, and it was really impressive.
Yeah, and I just think like like you said, the rotations were so sharp defensively. I was watching this game, and I'm like, what? Where was this? Where was this? Because they were bitching Boston hard body this game, and I'm like, where was this game one, game two, game three? The role players finally showed up. I know I was texting you this. The bench points tonight were really good from the role players. Like outside of Luka and Kyrie, Exum gave them great minutes. Who else? Josh Green played well. DJJ was pretty good too. The role players just
Lively
really
was great.
yeah, Lively was great too. He hit a 3 tonight, which was unexpected. But the rotations were so sharp defensively. In my notes, I had the adjustments too. Like the pace was great, enhanced effort, active hands, offensive rebounds. Without Porzingis, and this is what Mavs did in Game 3. They were attacking the paint on that 22-2 run in the fourth quarter. A lot of those points were in the paint, and then in the beginning, in the first half, they were attacking the paint. And I feel like they went away from that in that Game 3, which is why Boston kind of took control. But this game, it was just a force that they had. Like they made it a point. Like, no, we're gonna keep attacking, keep attacking. Like after Luka took a couple threes and missed, he was like, you know what, forget this. I'm going straight to the hole every single time. And he was. He hunted Horford. He was hunting Xavier Tillman, and he was taking them to the rim every single time. Same with Kyrie. His first step every single time. Like without Porzingis, Boston lacks rim protection, and that is a weakness, a flaw. So we'll see. Game 5 is gonna be very, very interesting because if the Mavs can take this on the road, it gets still a little bit spicy because you win on the road and you come back here. I mean, come back to Dallas and things get a little bit more pressure. Like there's more pressure on you, more pressure on the Celtics to win a game. But what do you think going forward for the Mavs, bro? Like, what do you think is going to be the biggest issue? Do you think the role players can shoot like this again, or do you think like Dallas could replicate this in Boston? Do you think Boston can make adjustments? Like, do you think Boston can make adjustments in Game 5?
So I feel like Boston is just a very good team, and I feel like they'll be able to make adjustments. But in terms of Dallas, they just have to continue to just play fast and just.
Yeah.
So you mentioned how good the role players were able to do. So Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic shot a combined 1 for 14 from the
Mm,
3-point line, and they still shot 40.5% from three as a team.
wow.
If all they gotta do is just give the role players a shot and give them good shot opportunities. If
Yeah.
they're able to take it to the rim and get good shots and just be able to just, at least create that pressure early to where they have to bring their defenders away from the corners,
Yeah.
just, even the elbows in general, just kinda just take them away from the 3-point line to where you're able to kick it out.
Yeah.
That is big for you, and they were able to cut down the turnovers. Luka only had 1 turnover tonight. Luka only had
That's
1
great.
turnover. Kyrie only had 1 turnover.
He didn't complain to the
There
refs either. He wasn't really foul baiting. He was just going to the rim strong, and that's all we wanted from Luca. Go to the rim strong and stop complaining because you're 6'8". You can when you get to the rim, you can overpower Derek White on you. You can body a little, stow your shoulder and get space from Al Horford because he's going to be on your backside. Like you have the strength to do it. You don't got to look at the refs every single time. Just go straight up and concentrate on the layup. That's what kind of gets me tight when Luca complains. But like you said with the staying home, this was what I noticed the biggest adjustment because there was a possession where I think I think it was all game, but they were switching, but there was a possession where Jalen Brown was in the corner and Kyrie, somebody was on Jalen Brown, but Jason Tatum drove, and you noticed whoever was guarding Jalen Brown stayed home on the shooters in the corner. Stayed home. The shooters, they stayed home. They didn't overhelp you. A lot of these games, they were overhelp. And that's where it gets wrong because Boston's offense is like you got to touch the paint, get in drive, and then you got to kick out. That's really how their offense is. Get somebody in the paint and kick. Even from these highlights, you see everybody staying home on the shooters, staying home on the shooters in the corner, in the wings. Make them go ISO one-on-one because when you switch, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown kind of get into their ISO bag, and that's not how their offense is the best. That's where it gets stagnant. That's where you see like the Mavs make these huge runs is when Boston's offense is like stagnant ISO one-on-one offense. So the fully committing to the switch was really great for adjustment for the Mavs. Now, going forward, if you're a Boston Celtics fan, are you concerned, bro? Are you concerned, or like what are you expecting in Game 5? Or like, how are you feeling if you're a Boston fan right now, bro?
So I feel like if I was a Boston fan, I feel
Mhm.
like I definitely think a little bit about this game and be like, dang, it was kind of interesting how
Mm,
they were able to just kind of blow the brakes off us. But I feel like Boston being Boston, I feel like they'll be able to bounce back, and I feel like fans will be able to just kind of chill. At the end of the day, it is still 3-1. No
yeah,
team has ever come back down from 3-0 ever. They
yeah,
should be relatively okay. Fans should
yeah,
be relatively all right, but I think you still have to, go all out because the Mavs prove that they're not a team that you should sleep on and that they're not gonna just go out and that they're still here. And but I think in terms of Boston that they're I think they're all right and just they just need to, have one more game where, they just where they're just able to play like that.
yeah,
This just wasn't their game tonight. They got shut out. But it's a question that we'll be able to figure out pretty soon. But we may have just found the recipe to defeat the Boston Celtics.
yeah,
Can the Mavs replicate this? We'll see. It'll take the whole team committing and just playing well as a whole for sure. It
yeah,
literally took everybody to just provide for something to for them to actually like just click. As long as they're able to just create constant pressure, and
yeah,
even if Porzingis just gets in the game, just they were doing a good job at getting the switches
yeah.
and, if they're able to just,
Shoot a lot. I
get
don't think
Hickey
because you don't think Boston's going
switches
to shoot like
on
this
his
at
injury.
home. Do you think? I don't think like in my mind, I don't see Boston shooting. What did they shoot today? Like I don't see
34.1,
like
so they shot like average, but they'll probably have a good game. You
yeah.
know, it may
I don't see Jason 1 for 4, Al Horford 1 3, Joe Holiday 2 for 4, Eric White 2 for 8, Jalen Brown 1 for 5 from three. So I don't know, man. I don't see Boston going like um this bad from three, but it could happen. Like I said, they're a team that lives and die by the three. So if you're a team that live and die by the three, or like you drive and kick as your offense, if they're not hitting that three again at home, things could get spicy. And then one last thing on that Porzingis before we get out of here, like he is truly the X factor because let's say if the Mavericks somehow win Game 5 and come back to Dallas, then you got to start thinking about the if KP should play or not. And I remember I texted you. I was like, I think this Porzingis thing is it's a bluff because the injury he has a torn tendon or some type of torn tendon in his ankle. I know he can still play, but it's like if you think about Porzingis' injury prone, he's been injury prone since he was on the Knicks. Like he's kind of made out of glass. He's like that AD type. He's made out of glass. So not playing for a few days and then putting him in a fast-paced finals game where everybody's playing extremely hard, it just doesn't seem like if I'm the Celtics, I wouldn't risk it because I need Porzingis for the future. And we've seen when teams try to push, like with the KD series, when they try to push KD to come back and he tore his Achilles. Like I would be very cautious about putting Porzingis in a certain situations. Like it could be worse. Something could happen. Something could snap. Like I don't want it. I wouldn't do it for me personally. But if it comes to Game 7, hey, teams really want to win. So I don't know if they would. I don't know if they would do it. But make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at HoopsWorld0. We'll see. We'll see if the Mavs can do the unthinkable. Make sure you guys follow up, and we'll be back.